Welcome to Code as Teach, your topics, our views. The last video we have discussed about lambda expression, anonymous functions. Today we will be discussing about recursive functions in Python. So if a function call itself, it's known as recursive functions. With the help of recursive function, we generally resolve the problems or statement, or you can find the solution very easily, or you can write the code elegantly. If a problem has certain kind of patterns, if you consider the mathematical problems like arithmetic progression or the geometric progression, like Fibonacci series, factorials, Tower of Hanoi, these all have certain patterns which need to be followed. And for resolving these kind of problems, we have recursive functions. It can be also done in an iterative way, but with the help of recursive function, we can implement these things easily. It's already there in all the languages, most of the languages it follows, like C++, Java, C#. In Python also provides recursive functions, but there is one difference. If you don't write recursive functions correctly in a Java or C++ or C#, it goes into infinite loop. But here in Python, after 1000 calls, it will throw an error and break the loop. So it will not goes into infinite loop, but it goes till 1000 calls, and then after it will break or it will throw an exception. Okay, let's start few programs and then we'll try to understand how it works. Mostly recursive is based on a stack. If you know the stack and a stack calls, it's very easy to understand recursive function. Okay, so first thing, recursive function. What is recursive? A function that calls itself is known as recursive function. It's mostly based upon stack and stack calls, or call of stack, you can say. Okay, stack of frame object means a stack of calls. Okay, it has few disadvantages also because it takes more memory. If you have not written the code correctly, your system may hang. Okay, let's take an example of any mathematical calculation. Let's take example of factorials. Remember, the factorial of 0 is 1. Okay, factorial of 1 is 1, and then factorial of 2 is 2 multiplied by 1. In the same way it proceeds, like 3 factorial. If you find the 3 factorial, it's 3 into 2 into 1. It's equal to 3 into 2 factorial, right? If you see so there is certain pattern here follows. So if we write this code in a recursion, how we found? So let's take example. Let's define a function because we are going to write the factorial. Let's take one number. Okay, and see here the 0 factorial is 1 and the 1 factorial is also 1. From 2 it's a start multiplying, or you can say here 2 is equal to 2 into factorial of 1, right? So here also we have to provide the conditions. Okay, it means that if the pass parameter is 0, it will return 1. If the pass parameter is 1, it will return 1. Let's say start this. If in is equal to 0 or in equal to 1, then it has to return 1, right? Okay, else we have to return. See here, it's a number multiplied by the factorial. If you see the 4th factorial, it's 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. What does it mean? It's 4 into 3rd factorials. Simple. So here also what we have to write? The number and its factorial of the previous number, right? So we have to write factorial of the previous number, means n minus 1, right? Simple. Okay. Let's run this first. Let's run this. Let's print the factorial of let's have 3, right? See 6. If you click here, 3 into 2 into 2 to 1. Okay, let's take an example how it runs it. Let's take. So first what we do, right? We have written something like factorial 3, right? The first call goes here. It's pass the value as 3 3 is equal to 0, no. 3 is equal to 1, no. It goes here, return 3 into multiply by factorial of 3 minus 1 is 2. Again it goes here, by default in contains 2. Okay, so it goes here 2 is equal to 0, no. Or 2 is equal to 1, no. It's again come here, 2 into factorial of 2 minus 1, 1. Goes here, now 1 and 1 is equal to 0, no. 1 is equal to 1, yes. Then it returns 1. So how it works? First it goes to in first call. Okay, in first call it's with 3. Okay, so first call is call with 3, right? Okay, and then it comes to 3 into factorial of 2, simple. See, and the second call with 2, right? Now it comes 3 into 2 into factorial, right? So third call with 1, and then it comes out. Okay, so how results comes? 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, it's returned from third call, right? Third call as number 1, and then it returns 3 into 2. Sorry, it's come to the next point. 3 into 2, okay, and it returns second call as 2. The last one is returns 6. Okay, returns third call as 6. Simple. Okay, let's take another example of Fibonacci series. If you have remember the Fibonacci series, it's generally start with 1. Somewhere it may say that it start with 0 also. So its Fibonacci series is nothing but addition of the previous two numbers. Like it comes here 3, now 2 plus 1 3, now 3 plus 2 5, now 5 plus 3 8, now becomes 8 5 13, and then 21 34. It means that it's the addition of previous two numbers. Let's take an example how it works. Let's define one function. Okay, it takes 1. So when we say, like, if you pass the 1, it will give 1. If you pass the parameter 2, it gives the Fibonacci series of the number at the particular position, right? Okay, so if the number is 1, it will also return 1. If number is 2, then also it will return, because if we start with 1, it doesn't have any previous number. It's only start with the third number, because third number has last 2 digit number. Okay, so if number is equal to 1, okay, return 1, simple. If number is equal to 2, then also we have to return, also we have to return 1, simple. If you see the Fibonacci series, the first two number is 1 1. Okay, we have followed the conditions. Now if the number is greater than 2, right, then what we have to pass? We have to add the previous 2 digit number. So like return Fibonacci n minus 1, right, and then n minus 2. Simple. You can simply write this. This can also be achieved using iterative functions. It doesn't mean that it can be only done through recursive. But see how the code is looking so clean and elegant also. See, in a 4 line we can get this. Okay, let's run this example. This is the third position is 2. We run this. Okay, we have written the wrong condition. It's assignment operator. We have to check the. See here, if we write the fourth, so fourth position it's 3. See, okay, so simply writing 3. So let's say we can also something like 4x in range. Let's say start from 1 and then till 10. Okay, if we pass the x, sorry, let's say let's run this. Let's pass the number also, and there Fibonacci number. Okay, pass x. It will start from the 1 and go till 9, because the range doesn't take the last number. Okay, just wait a minute. See here, it's printing on first, second number also, third number too, till 9th it prints. So it's very easy to call. There is few more things we have to take care of while doing the recursive functions. It's simple for 10 or 15 calls, but if you have more than 100 calls, it becomes slow, because it takes the memory inside to execute this. For handling this, we have few already defined cache, like LRU cache, list recently used cache. Okay, or we can also in customer way we can implement this by using dictionary. So in the next video I will try to cover this LRU cache and dictionary. It's a simple example of how to use the recursion. What are the benefit of recursion? Okay, for the advantage, you can say the code looks clean, and complex tasks also can be broken in a simple way. See here, in a 4 line of code we have implemented the Fibonacci series. Okay, the disadvantage is we have to hard to follow. If you don't understand the recursion correctly, how it works, it's very hard to debug the code also. Okay, if you have not written this, and this one is known as the base case, and this one is the recursion case. So if a function does not have base case, it will not run, because unless and until you provide here, if you don't write this through 2-3 number, it by default goes into the infinite loop, and Python breaks after 1000 call. Same here. So this one is known as base case, and this one is known as recursive case, because here we are calling the same function again. Okay, simple. Thank you. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe it. Please like it. If you have any query, please you can also put it in a comment, or you can directly email me. Thank you.